Yes, Mike, this is going to be fun. We will get this party kicked off here in just a moment, letting a few viewers hop in, and we will get this party started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to How to Suck at iRacing. Tonight we are at Talladega, Alabama, for the first round of the Battle of the Leagues. It is a split decisions racing league versus the Burnin' Rubber Racing League. Both leagues are running trucks tonight to keep things equal and fair, and they are going to go 80 laps around Talladega for the Turtle Shell 200, brought to you by Turtle Shell Paints. You can find them on Facebook and get your custom paints, logos, and anything else you need from Tyler the Turtle Rush, John Nichols, and the other guys there at Turtle Shells. As we watch Scott Snodgrass finish up his qualifying run. Watching some folks come into the chat, including one of our biggest fans, Becky Flowers. Welcome. This is definitely going to be quite a show tonight. We have 30 drivers, 15 from each league. They have been planning, practicing, plotting, and trying to figure out who's going to be number one. And as I mentioned, this is the first of 4 races. The order of races and the final dates is still to be settled. Will be settled this week, but we know that they're going to be going to Kansas, Pocono, and eventually Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol will be one heck of a show for these boys. As we've got about a minute left in qualifying, when we get down to about 30 seconds, we'll start going through the qualifying order, because I know for a fact we're not going to have time to get through the field before they drop the green flag tonight, and there is a lot to go over. Again, we are in Talladega, Alabama for the Turtle Shell 200. They'll be running 80 laps on the 2.66 mile track. They have unlimited tires, 100% fuel load, but only one fast repair, which will be interesting when they get 3 wide, and I promise you they will be getting 3 wide tonight. As I see Kevin Bernheimer in the chat as well, we have the boys from Split Decisions and BRR, the ones that couldn't make the race tonight. They are going to be watching live, so a shout out to these leagues. Now I have to say, I race in both of these leagues. Split Decisions on Friday night, BRR on Sunday night. There are some drivers that cross over, like Mike Smith and Larry Ashby, who are both representing BRR tonight. So these guys are stacked. Both teams have 15 amazing drivers, and they are not on individual teams like Mike, Larry, and I in Split Decisions. It is 2 teams of 15 tonight. They have been planning this. They have been working out long run plans, tire strategy, everything else all week long leading up to this. Got to give a shout out first before we get started to the league admins for BRR, AJ Godsey, Jody Ogden, Kevin Reed, and then, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Split Decisions League. Dave Gilbert, Tyler Rush, and Tyler Bullock. These boys put it together. Great job by all of them. Now, I will point out, the Split Decisions guys, since they're sponsored by Turtle Shells, they have a custom paint job. Most of the team, I think there are a few that are not running this paint job tonight, but for the most part, the entire Split Decisions League is running that paint job, including Lucas Gortman and Luke Smith qualified on the front row. We've got Alvin Alvin Adams and Scott Snodgrass on the second row. We're waiting for them to grid. We'll go back to the third row with Ryan Johnson and Josh Susie. In the fourth row of Jason Lottridge and Chris Wheeler. Then we go back and we will eventually see Jody Ogden pop up there along with Kevin Reed. Those two will be two to watch for tonight. They work really well together, and when AJ gets connected with those guys, it will be a freight train to the front as we see Jody starting to pop in. That is your top 10. We have Jason Room and Tyler Rush, 11th and 12th. Colin Johnston, Richie West, 13th and 14th. John Nichols, Mark Ackerman, 15th and 16th. Then we have Mike Smith and AJ Godsey, Bill Percy, and Jeff Hinkle round out the top 10. Then we've got Harley Barletta, Vincent Tabe, Larry Ashby, Jeff Parr Jr., and the rest of these guys that we'll get through as the night goes on. But we have one lap to green before we go live, this 80-lap event. We'll be playing with some different views. We'll be watching these guys from in the car at some points tonight. The one thing we will all be looking for, the big one. Now, these are two leagues that are going to be, they are each on Discord. We talked about doing some driver interviews in the race, but just thought better of that given the circumstances. So, these guys are in their own separate Discord channels, one for each league, and they are communicating, they are planning, they have strategy planned out for tonight. Funnily enough, since I'm in both leagues, I got to know the strategy for both. I'm not telling you. I will tell you this, both have one thing in mind tonight: race clean, have fun, and prove who is the best of the best. Over the course of 4 races, they will be scoring points, and at the end of 4 races, we'll determine which league is the better league. But at the end of the day, they're both awesome. I race with all 30 of these guys every week. They're all great. And we do have a couple of guys on standby. Stephen Gibson and Mike Morrison, both on standby. They were alternates in case there was technical glitches or any issues with any of these guys. They could step in and fill up the positions if either league needed it. But it looks like they've got their 15 each. They are lined up, ready to go. Looks like the front row is split decisions. The second row is BRR as they get ready to go green. We will watch them. Now remember, the start-finish line in Talladega is at the far end, so this will be a little bit of a later start than what we're used to. As we watch them come down to green, they will take it. They will go on the green flag. Looks like green is in the air. They are gone. Split decisions is out front, but we already see Scotty Too Hottie making a move, trying to get to the front past his opposition tonight. And we come down, looks like they're already starting to work on the high line. The split decisions guys move to the bottom as we see the high line start to be pushed by BRR. But there is a freight train from both teams, and we will see them working around here in a few minutes, and I guarantee you, you're going to start to see some of these cars getting lined up, separating themselves out, getting with their teammates, and working together. Like I said, they have both been planning all week. They've had practices. They are ready for this. They are ready with their strategy, and they are ready to win. As we come around to complete lap 1, they will not be up to full speed until they get to the back stretch. It takes about a lap and a half to get them up to full speed, so we're watching them get up to speed as they come through 1 and 2, and looks like Jared Heasley might be off the back just a little bit, but these trucks punch a big hole in the air, and I guarantee you Jared's going to suck right back up to those cars, and they are going to move. He's going to move back up to the front. I also know for a fact that Jared is going to be up front later tonight, and we will go show you why. We're going to go up here, back here, and we're going to find Mr. Heasley and take a look at his truck right quick. If you recognize that truck, that is because that is a Talladega Nights inspired me. He wants to go fast, and he told me before the race he didn't get the finish he wanted last time he was here, so he was going to the front, and he is going for the win. Work our way back up to the front as we look at Luke Smith. Split Decisions Racing's Luke Smith is leading his teammate Lucas Gortman. 1-2 as we've already got the third line forming up back there. Looks like Scott Snodgrass has got some help in there trying to form up the third line. We knew they'd be going 3 wide. We did not know it would be this easy, or this early. As we watch them come out of the turn, coming back down the straightaway, they are nose to tail. Now, they did see a little bit of overheating problems in practice tonight. Not a lot, but we will see them kind of ducking if they're in the draft and not leading, they will be ducking that nose out just a little bit to cool that engine off. As they complete lap 3, they are at full speed now, coming through 1 and 2. And we have a caution. Work our way back and see now these guys do have a fast repair. Looks like Mike Smith might have had some problems. But it does not look like we have any heavily damaged cars as we look at one of the admins of BRR, Jody Ogden there. Running that special burning rubber racing Smith & Wesson paint job tonight. And like I said, they have unlimited tires. They have 100% fuel load. I don't think we're going to see anybody pit this early, but you never know. As we look at the Black Rifle Coffee truck of Jason Chambers, and Jason we expect to see up front later, as well as Kevin Reed, one of the other admins for BRR. He is definitely one to contend with. And right in front of him is his teammate tonight, Scotty Too Hottie, Scott Snodgrass. Work our way back through the field here. We got Alvin Adams holding the third place position. Looks like that's the 27 truck of Tyler the Turtle Rush. Has a little bit of damage on the hood, heading down pit road. Looks like he might have some damage on the side of that truck too. Not a lot. Probably not going to use his fast repair this early. He's only got the one tonight. And looks like Kevin is running the Burning Rubber Racing's paint scheme tonight as well. And that is a new paint scheme, brand new for tonight that Scott put together on that 22 truck. And we're already seeing it up front a lot. I imagine we're going to see it out in the lead at some point. So we look back on Ryan Johnson, that number 38 Oreo truck. And again, the 14 of Jason Chambers. Now a lot of these guys are not running their regular. Oh, here comes some of that strategy right now. We've got 2 BRR guys and a fleet of the Split Decisions guys coming down pit road. So we go back out, we find another BRR truck, Richie West. And looks like Larry Ashby had some problems during that caution. Looks like he might have been involved with the cause of the caution. He'll get his fast repair and hopefully won't need another one tonight. But Larry's going to get back out there, and I got to give a shout out to my teammate Larry and Mike Smith. It is worth noting that I am one of the Split Decisions Racing admins as well, but I race with BRR and have since the inception of that group, so to avoid divided loyalties, I decided to broadcast it. And again, I can tell you we are seeing some strategy play out already with both of these teams. Having heard some of their strategy over the last week, I know what they're planning to do here. They both have a plan for just about everything. And we see Kevin and Jody together. And AJ is back in 17th, but I imagine that he will not be back there for long. As we look at Harley Barletta's 81 Exalta truck. And again, Richie West, RJ Buchanan, one of the new drivers in BRR. Glad to have him, as well as David Garman. David Garman is one that definitely be watching for at the end. And you'll notice a lot of these BRR guys, even if they don't have a custom BRR paint job, like you see there on the back of David Garman's truck, they are running a logo on it. We got the 23 of Jeff Hinkle. 42, there's Josh Soucy. 14 of Jason Chambers again, and there's Cullen Johnson, John Nichols, Lucas Gortman, Chris Wheeler, and there's AJ Godsey, kind of stuck in the middle of those SDR guys. He's got his logo for Burning Rubber Racing out tonight. Jason Lottridge, J-Lot, I believe is what I'm supposed to be calling him. Bill Percy. Bill was really looking forward to this race. I know he's going to put on a good show for us tonight. Ryan Johnson, Luke Smith, Dave Gilbert, the fearless leader that came up with the idea of split decisions racing and all that craziness. He's out there in the turtle shell paint job as well. And there is Jared Heasley. Looks like he's got a little damage on the back end in that Talladega Nights car. Like I said, he is going for the win tonight because he said second place is the first loser. And if you ain't first, you're last. We work our way back up. We see a lot of those split decisions guys came back down, topping off their fuel. So we're seeing some interesting strategy play out as we get 1 to green here. Lights are out on the pace car. Looks like Alvin might have a little bit of a connectivity issue, but it probably won't be too bad. He was doing okay under green. And now we see the front 1, 2, 3 rows. Looks like the front 4 rows are all BRR. No, I stand corrected. Harley Barletta in that 81 is running he is running for split decisions tonight. So the front 2 rows and half of the 3rd row. As we watch 2 of the admins come down the back straightaway, going into turn 3, we're going to get ready to go green. We'll go on board here for a minute with Kevin Reed. You can see what he is seeing tonight, looking at the back of that Fox truck of Alvin Adams. And we'll get an overhead look on this restart. I want to see how these guys do. These split decisions guys, they're all these guys are used to racing with each other in their respective leagues. However, the split decisions guys kind of have a disadvantage because they've got some of their Cup, some of their Xfinity, and some of their truck guys together, so they're not all used to racing in the same vehicles together and how they work together. They're used to working in disparate cars, and this will be a bit different for these guys. As we go green flag racing. Looking down on the... Looks like Jody is running his number 2 tonight. As he starts to line up, those guys up at the front are already starting to line up and work on getting the draft going down on the inside, coming down the back straightaway. And you see the whole fleet of, wow, they were getting dicey back there. The whole fleet of split decisions back there together. Remember, they came down with right before 1 to green. So these guys have the extra lap of fuel. Will that come into play later? It's hard to say, but it is Talladega, and I imagine that we are not done wrecking yet. Did you see the front 7 or 8 are single file, and then we've got the outside line working. We're not going 3 wide again just yet. As we come through 1 and 2, we've definitely got some cars laying back there, though. They're playing it safe, letting their teammates get aggressive so they can get aggressive later in the race. And we see that outside line working. Now, the outside line is faster on the straightaways. We did see that. Oh, getting a little dicey coming through 3 and 4. The outside line is much faster on the straightaways, but the inside line has it in the corners. As we work our way back up to the front, we see Scotty Too Hotty moving his way back up. As we see, the 14 is taking the lead now. Jason Chambers is up front. But he's got a pair of split decisions cars underneath. John Nichols, Colin Johnson. And now we're going to have two long lines coming out of the turn 2 onto the back stretch as we see some of them ducking low, trying to get some clean air on the nose, cool their cars off. A couple of them are peeking out to see if they can get a run up the middle. Coming through 3 and 4, everybody's playing nice, wiggling around a little bit. These cars do move around a bit just because of the air. The air coming off of each other, and when one truck moves, another truck will move a little bit. As we watch them go down into turn 1, one giant pack of cars, still pretty close. And we watch the front 3 running single file, kind of in the middle line. And listen to the roar of those big V8s as they come flying by into turn 3. The front 3 still nose to tail up in that middle line, but we've got another line forming down below. Coming out of 4, will they get a run? They've got more cars, but the top line definitely has another pack coming to help. Looks like everybody's taking a minute to be patient and see how their strategy plays out. We're only 12 laps in to this 80-lap race. That patience will only last so long. If any of these cars get lined up and they get a big enough line to get away from those guys running too wide back there, then we'll start seeing some guys pushing harder as we see some of the split decisions guys coming to the inside. They finally get the run. Looks like we got Ryan Johnson, John Nichols hooked up there with Scott and the 25 truck. Now again, this is a little bit different tonight because of the way it had to be set up and because of the difference in the leagues. They had to run random numbers, so it's a little bit tricky for us up here in the booth trying to keep track of who's who, but we're trying to go based on some of these paint jobs. Did get a heads up on some of them beforehand, and we knew the split decisions guys would be running turtle shells tonight. Now we've seen two of the admins for BRR, Jody Ogden, Kevin Reed. They are running up there in the front. Let's go see if we can find Mr. Dave Gilbert. Oh, as we see one car getting a little bit loose coming out through the tri-oval. Nope, hey, they hold on to it. We're going to start working our way through the field here. Positions change so quickly at this track, but let's see if we can find Mr. Here he comes. There is AJ Godsey. AJ is the fearless leader for Burning Rubber Racing. He started the league earlier this year. They are in their second season. The first season they ran ARCA cars, and the second season we are running Cup cars. So it is a little bit different, but it is a lot of fun. Great group of guys out here racing. As we work our way back, And it looks like, oh, we've got a wreck coming into turn. Looked like Jody Ogden got into it. Jody Ogden's in it. 17 is in it. Number 13, Jason Room is in it. Let's see if we can find. Looks like Kevin Reed and Vincent Tabe both managed to get through clean as we have completing lap 15. We are under our second caution. Now, I don't believe anybody that's got into that accident previously had been on pit or had used their fast repair. That was middle of the pack though, so we might start seeing if we're almost fourth of the way done. Some of the strategy is going to come into play now. As we'll see, some of these lead guys have been out there since the beginning, and some of these split decisions guys are on almost new tires. They've only got about 7-8 laps on those tires, so we'll get to see how this plays out with their pit strategy. That's rough to see so early in the race. Hopefully we can get most of these trucks back out here. Looks like we've got only about 4 cars a lap or more down now. They are going to have lucky dogs turned on. And we see the leaders all coming to pit road. We will probably see most of the field come into pit road if we're honest. There's the 41 of Harley Barletta. We expect to see him up front before this night's out. He missed his pit stall. That's unusual for Harley. We see the 38 of Ryan Johnson. We saw Scotty Too Hottie. We see the 14 car Jason Chambers already in and out. Still looks like he is still going to be in the lead. Unless, no, I am sorry, Harley, that was not Harley Barletta on pit road. Harley Barletta stayed out. He was one that pitted on that last stop. I stand corrected. He has stayed out since the beginning. And of course we have Jared Heasley there, me, with that Cougar on the hood. He is back out. He is 1 lap down. He's getting waved around. Jared's one that runs in both leagues. He runs a cup car on Friday night in split decisions and runs the cup car again on Sunday nights in the Burning Rubber Racing League. So he is one that a lot of these guys that were in both leagues went to BRR to fill out that team, and the split decisions racing team, because of the way that they're formulated with 3 different car types on track, has a bigger group, and so it was easy to let these guys go over and make sure that both teams had a full roster. So it will make for some interesting racing to see when it gets late in the race. Will he stick with his BRR teammate? Will he go with the split decisions guys? Who's he going to work with? And that's true of everybody. That's true of guys like Mike Smith, Larry Ashby. Even AJ runs both leagues, although I know where AJ's loyalties are going to lie tonight. With the league he created, he is going to be 100% BRR. Now, there was quite a bit of friendly competition during the week. I will say that there is a bit of rivalry going on there. Like I said, there are numerous drivers that both know each other from both of these leagues, and some run in both leagues. Some of them just know each other from running different series and bumping into each other multiple times in open session races. as we see a problem at, pit road exit is closed, so these guys have to stop, wait for the field to get by, and now they get the green flag and they can get back out on the track. As we see, the 41 tonight is John Nichols. John Nichols is one we wholeheartedly expect to see up front before this night's out. And we see that Jody used his fast repair. He's back out. Larry Ashby used his fast repair. He was caught up in that first accident, it looked like, and he is back out there. We see the Camel Truck 15. RJ Buchanan, it looks like, is in that Camel Truck tonight. Double checking our timing and scoring here. No, I'm sorry, that is Jeff Parr Jr. We got the 95 of Bill Percy. He is up in 13th, started 19th. And I got to talk to Bill a little bit throughout the day today. He was really looking forward to this race and looking forward to seeing what he can do with it. No, he's really good on these plate tracks. As we are one lap to green, we're coming into turn 3. We'll work our way back up to the leaders. Again, we've got Harley Barletta, Jason Chambers to the outside. Then we've got the 39 of Luke Smith and the 22 of Scott Snodgrass. 22, there is very few cars out there that got to keep their number tonight just because of the randomness. But fortunately, we've got some of these BRR guys that did, so that makes it a little bit easier to track them. As pace car comes down pit road, he's getting ready to duck off, and we will get ready to go green. Here they come. Harley Barletta will lead them down. First restart was on the green. All future restarts go to the leader. Leader gets to control it, so we'll see if he gets a jump. He does. He's got his split decisions teammate back there, Luke Smith. And Luke is always a contender at these plate tracks. Luke is the one that is, you almost never hear him until it's too late, and he is flying by you. Doesn't talk on the radio much, just sits down, puts his right foot down, and gets the job done. As we see, it looks like the BRR guys are starting the outside line going. Oh, almost had some problems there. The 24 and 22 almost got together. Oh, the Scott Snodgrass gets into the 14 of Jason Chambers. Caution is out. Looked like Jason managed to keep it off the wall. He'll have minimal damage. We'll go see if Scott does not look like he had much. Looked like he just got a tap. Looked like they were getting dicey trying to sort it out as they were coming up to speed and everybody bouncing around. And Harley Barletta is loving this. He is still up in the lead. He's been on those tires since the beginning of the race, and he's going to be able to stretch that fuel even further. It is good to see Scott up front, and we've got Larry Barr cheering on Harley Barletta. And, of course, Thomas Myers in the chat also cheering on the Split Decisions team. Thomas is one of our admins tonight as well. He is the newest admin to Split Decisions Racing League. When we got bigger, needed to bring one on. Thomas was very handy to have around, but he is still the rookie. Sorry, Thomas, I had to say it. As we watch them pacing around, 20 laps to go. We're a fourth of the way through this. Now, they can go a lot longer on a full fuel run. They could probably go 35, I'm trying to remember exactly how many. It was between 30 and 35 laps, depending on if you're pushing or leading. So if we get a green flag run, Harley's going to be stretched to the limit for sure on those tires and fuel. But is that part of their team strategy? That's a good question. He's got his Split Decisions teammate back behind him still, Luke Smith. Then we've got Steven Gibson, Scott Snodgrass, David Garman, and Kevin Reed all there, the BRR guys. You can see their logos and their stickers on there. We got the 25 of Alvin Adams in 7th, Richie West in 8th. I had not taken a good look at his car until just now, and I'm loving that paint scheme. As we see Jody Ogden out there on the outside, he's running up, probably just checking everybody out to make sure there's no damage. And shout out to my teammate Mike Smith and that number 9 UniFirst paint scheme. That is a pink paint scheme for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Mike will be running that paint scheme all month long. Really proud of him. He's running something similar on pretty much all of his cars this month. And though it doesn't get mentioned enough, because of the breast cancer awareness is so important, October is also the month for awareness for miscarriages and families who have lost babies before they're born. So just want to honor them and thank some of these guys that are out there running these paint schemes for charities and awareness and things like that. And there is AJ Godsey. Pitted 5 laps ago, has already worked his way up to 10th, and is Jody Ogden is 2 spots back from him in 12th after that earlier accident. Kevin Reed is up there in 5th now. I have a feeling that these 3 are going to be back together again anytime. We do see an interesting bit of strategy playing out. If you look through the field, we're not seeing a lot of split decisions guys towards the front right now. We are seeing a lot of burning rubber guys up front. Shout out to Mark Ackerman in that 37 truck. Number 1, another Texas boy. Number 2, he is one of the driving instructors at Circuit of the Americas. He works with the Ferrari and Lamborghini teams, if I remember correctly. So shout out to him. He's also a former racer himself, and I just went blank on what all he's raced in. I know he's done some super late models and a few other things, but it's good to have him. He's in both leagues, so he's another one that's crossing the lines tonight. As we look at Harley and Luke up there, now Harley's been out for 22 laps. Luke pitted on that last stop, so he's only got 6 laps. The next person back, we've got Jared Heasley is back in 14th spot, and he's been out for 14 laps. And then we have to go back to 22nd, Dave Gilbert. He's been out on his tires for 11 laps. So interesting bits of strategy playing out here. And looks like with 1 to green, they are not stacking up side by side, so we might be seeing a single file restart. I do believe they completed a lap under... No, they did not complete a lap under green. If they don't make it all the way back to the start-finish line and click off that 1 lap under green, then they do go to single file. The admins for the race also have the option to switch to single file racing single file restarts, excuse me, if they see fit. Which does help somebody like Harley who's out there on old tires. However, this will be interesting. He's got 22 laps on those tires. He's got to be careful on his restart that he doesn't spin those tires as he gets on the gas. And if he does, that's going to allow Luke Smith to get past him, which would be fine. But then you got Steve Gibson, Scott Snodgrass, and the rest of the BRR guys right behind him ready to pounce. So Harley's going to have to be really careful on this restart. We might see some different format. We might see all trucks in the 4 races that they're doing. We might see a little bit different. Just kind of up in the air. They wanted to get this first race under their belt, get used to racing each other, and see if they have some fun tonight. So Harley will lead them down to the green. Now that the pace car is in, he is in control. He gets to restart when he's ready. And there he goes. Harley does get a jump, gets a good start, doesn't spin the tires, and manages to hold the first position with his teammate Luke Smith right behind him. As we see Luke coming, he's going to give Harley a push down the back straightaway. And the 24, Steve Gibson, sitting back there in 3rd. He's closing up on him. But here's the interesting bit. They have broken away. They have a little over a second lead as Steve Gibson moves to the outside. Power move. Gets a good run in the draft. Got no help. Has no help up there on the high side. And here comes the rest of the BRR team to come give him a hand. Led by Scott Snodgrass. They've got a 3-car train coming. They get a run coming off of 4. Will they get? They're going to pass Steve Gibson. They'll pick him up. He'll slip back a couple spots and they'll pick him up and have another car in the draft. Looks like that 22 truck is being pushed to the front by Kevin Reed. And going through 1 and 2, we've got the 22 to the outside and we've got another caution. So we'll work our way to the back and see if we can find where... Did not get all the way through the field, didn't find the caution. We'll look back and see if we can find anything. Again, we're not talking to the drivers tonight, so it makes it a little bit harder. Part of the reason we're not talking to them is this is a big strategy race. And obviously any of them could listen into the broadcast. That's why I'm not giving away strategy secrets. But they could be listening and the BRR guys could hear split decisions or vice versa. So we're just going to keep it out here and keep going and stay with just us, folks. Would like to point out again, tonight is brought to you by Turtle Shells Paint Jobs. They're the ones that painted these awesome split decisions paint schemes, and while they are all extremely similar, as you look on at a Chevy in the turtle shell, and we'll work our way back here and find us another turtle shell. There is Jared Heasley's me. I bet all these turtle shells guys are on pit road again. There is another Chevy, and if you pay attention, here we go. You can see while the paint jobs are extremely similar, there are a bit of differences between the 3 trucks. They all have the logos front and back, but there are slight differences in the way that they are painted, mainly on the beds of the truck. It looks like these split decisions guys are all still grouped up back here at the back. As we watch some of these trucks starting to come down pit road, a lot of these guys are staying out. And Harley is on pit road finally. So he's going to have a fresh set of tires and he's going to come out. So we see Jared Heasley getting lined back up. Jared's currently sitting in 10th spot, and Jared races in both leagues but is running for BRR tonight. There's Jody Ogden in 9th place. Jared right behind him. The 23 of Jeff Hinkle. And there's AJ back up there in 7th. Mike Smith in 6th. Richie West in 5th. Alvin Adams, David Garman, Kevin Reed, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it looks like the entire top 10 is the Burning Rubber guys. And looking at the scoring, it looks like we've got a bunch of the split decisions guys back on pit road. Looks like they're going to take every opportunity to get fresh tires and a full tank of gas. If this thing stays green at any given point, they will be ready. As we're working the caution, lap 26. 54 laps to go. 53 when they cross the line. As we see, Scott Snodgrass is leading the BRR team all the way back to, looks like the first split decisions car is going to be in 11th place. Just double checking that. But yeah, it looks like Bill Purcey will be the first car for split decisions, followed by John Nichols, Josh Sousey, Jason Chambers, Lucas Gortman, Jason Lottridge, Chris Wheeler, Tyler Rush, Colin Johnston, and Jason Room. Round out your top 20. Harley Barletta sitting in 21st after that pit stop, been out for 20-some laps. Then Steve Gibson, Luke Smith, Dave Gilbert in 24th. He just came through pit road. James Colemansberger, R.J. Buchanan, Ryan Johnson, Jeff Parr Jr., Larry Ashby, Mark Ackerman, and Vincent Tebe all still out on the track. We've got a full field. As we get the 1 to green and we see Kevin Reed line up outside Scott Snodgrass. So we've got 5 rows of the BRR guys up front. This will make for an interesting restart. We've seen, generally speaking, a mix of them. In situations like Harley Barletta staying out, so he's made sure that there was a split decisions guy at the front the whole race. But now we see the Burning Rubber Racing boys are all up front. But you get back there just a few rows, and there is a fleet of SDR cars. And I bet Miss Becky Flowers is very happy to see that 22 car back in the lead tonight. Now the strategy will be this. Do these top 10 cars line up and play it safe? Or do they go ahead and battle to see who's the fastest? What is their strategy so far? What did they learn in practice the other night? What did they learn in practice tonight? How will all this play out? These are big questions. There's 15 members of each league on track. They are all communicating in Discord tonight. And we will be talking to the winner. Whichever league it is, we will talk to the winner of the race. As we see, all 3 of the BRR admins are in the top 10 as well. And I can tell you from experience, if the 3 of them get connected, yeah, you can't hold them up. They're just going to go flying by. As we watch Scott lead them down, he'll be in control of the restart. Communicating with his team, he'll give him a countdown more than likely, and he can go anytime now. As Scott gets the jump, going down the front straightaway, Kevin to the outside. We've got David Garman on the inside right behind Scott. These first 6 BRR cars, we see them all together. They are moving around a bit, trying to catch the draft, trying to get some speed. Now they did practice some bump drafting, both teams. But they found, one of the things that they found is with these trucks, it's not necessarily needed. You can drop back, get a bit of a draft, and then suck right back up to them and give them a big push through the air without ever having to touch them. That helps keep it green longer. Bump drafting tends to cause problems, especially if you're bump drafting the other team. Or you're bump drafting somebody you're not used to racing with. So this will make some interesting strategy if we see, I imagine later in the race we'll see a little bit of bump drafting, but I don't expect to see a lot until we get down to about 20 laps to go. As we watch the outside line regain the momentum, going down into turn 1. And we still have a top 10 that is nothing but BRR. Looks like the 41 truck is the first split decisions. John Nichols tonight in that 41, followed by Bill Purcey. Bill's in the 95 tonight. He's helping push his team along. It looks like those split decisions guys just sitting down on the inside line. They're going to help push that inside line, move some of those outside line guys out of the way. As we watch them come out of the turn, a little bit of a gap between Jody and AJ. Nobody slides down into it yet, but I imagine they're talking about it. Are they trying to get lined up single file? So we watch Mike Smith come around. And Jason Chambers making a power move to the outside. Trying to get the third line working. Mike Smith moves up to give him a hand. Jason's going to stick to that outside line. Are we going to go into the turn 3 wide? Yes, we are. We are already playing with the third line. We didn't expect this early, but here we go, folks. Now's when it gets dicey. As we got the 14, Jason Chambers outside the 64, Kevin Reed. All three lines have help from behind. They are going to move. Mike Smith and Kevin Reed in that middle line. Will they be hung out to dry? Imagine Jody might try and help get them in. As we see the 57 of AJ Gotze, he moves up to help give a little drafting help. AJ moves up, letting the 25 slip up underneath him and giving the 64 a bit of a hand. And we're seeing the split decisions guys start to move up as we watch the top 3-4 trucks. The top 3 trucks are trying to break away. They are not battling. David Garman is pushing the heck out of Scott Snodgrass. He was inches off his bumper going down the back straightaway. And there we go, folks. The 3 admins for Burning Rubber are together at last. I imagine they are about to show us how plate racing is done. They'll get lined up. Before you know it, 3-man line, and they will move through the draft. And we see the split decisions, guys. They're trying to make sure that these admins don't get connected. We've got a lot of these guys are starting to move into the field. Trying to get back up there to the front, trying to get their team back up to the front. See Bill Percy in that 95, the 84, Jason Lottridge. Or J-Lot, as I am told he likes to be called by him. So watch him come around the front stretch. Looks like that 41 truck has something special in John Nichols. Now he is one of the painters for the Turtle Shells paint jobs, and he's got a little something special in his front window. We'll take a look at that as he comes around. Oh, 19 gets a wiggle, almost, and we're into. We've got crashing 19 and 2 into the inside wall. No caution. Oh, we got him wrecking up here. 64-14. 6, David Garman, Kevin Reed. Oh, David Garman took one heck of a hit there. We've got a bunch of trucks, mostly the BRR league. Had several trucks crashed. 33 laps in, we are under caution. So we work our way back to the front. Jeff Hinkle's got engine problems. He got hit in that wreck. I know a lot of these guys have not used their fast repairs just yet. John Nichols, Bill Percy, right there together. Those two have stuck together really well tonight. I expect to see more of them as the 13 is. Actually, he's in good shape. Looks like he got a little bit on the side, but not too terribly bad. But that 41 of John Nichols, that turtle shell is a little bit broken. So we go back up and take a look at Jason Chambers' truck. Now, I do believe he was in an accident earlier, but I don't believe he used his fast repair. That 25 of Alvin Adams, he's still clean. The 42. Josh Susi, all the way back up into 6th position. As we see the split decisions cars are ducking low. We've got Mike Smith ducking low. We've got everybody. All the lead trucks are on pit road. Scott Snodgrass leads them down. We're going to focus in and watch. We're focusing in, folks, and we're going to watch and see who gets off pit road first. We had one truck. One lonely truck stay out there. It looks, cannot tell yet by the scoring, but let's see if Scott gets back out of pit road. Note the 25 missed his pit stall. 25 missed his pit stall. And looks like Jason Chambers and the 84 both getting off pit road. Jason Lottridge. The 37 is still out. And look who's back at the front. Harley Barletta. Starting to see a little bit of this strategy play as it looks like. See if we can get a look at the side of Harley's truck. Looking from Harley's truck. Trying to see if we can see that. Yes, Harley does have some damage on that truck. I imagine we're going to see him on pit road sooner rather than later. He's definitely not going to be able to push or pull the pack like he has been, but he might be able to help push. As we look at the 127, Vincent Tebe, he is currently leading the pack, but showing he's a couple laps down, so he's probably getting a lap back on this restart, or on this under this caution. By virtue of being right behind the pace car, when they get one to go, if he doesn't get the Lucky Dog wave around before then, he should get waved around back to the back of the pack. So we'll look and see how this plays out at the front. We definitely have Harley up there. He's been on those tires for about 10 laps, but everybody behind him all the way back to 12th place is the first car, Dave Gilbert. He's on 11 lap old tires, and looks like most of the rest of his team just ducked onto pit road. Looks like John Nichols had just stopped and gotten fresh tires, and he's even pitting again. He might have gotten a little banged up in that exchange and is trying to make sure his truck is in good shape. So we watch one of these guys duck into the inside. Can't quite tell who that is. We'll move back up front though. As we see one of the Split Decisions trucks moving to the outside. One lap to green. Looks like Vincent did not get the wave around. He is going to be dropping down and dropping to the back as we're going to watch Harley Barletta. Slight damage to that truck. It'll be interesting to see what he's got for these guys. But he's got his teammate Jason Chambers right behind him. And this time we are seeing a bit of a different mix than what we have the last restart. We have some Split Decisions guys mixed in with the burning rubber guys, so this will get dicey, as these teams are going to want to pull their team back to the front. Everybody from 2nd back to 10th place is on fresh tires and a full tank of gas. We're on lap 36. We'll restart on lap 37. As we watch them come through 3 and 4, just run through the top 10. You have Harley Barletta, Jason Lottridge, Jason Chambers, AJ Godsey, Scott Snodgrass, Josh Susie, Lucas Gortman back up there in 7th, Richie West, Bill Percy, and Mike Smith rounding out the top 10 with Dave Gilbert in the 11th position. We'll watch these guys, see how well they work together tonight to get themselves back up to the front. Harley leads them down, does not spin the tires. He got a really good restart. Jason Lottridge managed to follow him through. Looks like they both got clear. Or Jason Chambers, excuse me. But with that little bit of damage Harley has, Jason might have an easy time passing him, especially as they come up to speed. But Scott Snodgrass is leading a pack to the outside line, and they are moving past. That was a power move by Scott. Scott works his way back into the lead. And he's got the 42 pushing him around. Josh Susie. As they come out of turn 4, we do see the outside line starting to pick up some steam as AJ Godsey's trying to get his team together on that outside line. And Scott will lead the lap. And they do have a bit of a gap. Imagine with that damage that Harley has, he might actually be holding Jason Chambers up a little bit. We'll have to watch and see, or if he can get sucked back up. Yeah, he looks like he's going to pull back up. Harley moves to the outside. Don't know if he's going to have enough to get by these guys. Drops back in. And the top 4 are single file, and then we go 2 wide from there on back. We've got AJ Godsey and Jason Lottridge there, side by side. The 12 of Richie Rest right behind AJ. And we see John Nichols there in the 17 as well, pushing his teammate in the 84 truck. And we see them all playing nice, staying only 2 wide this time around. Probably after the incidents early in the race, they all want to take it a little bit easy. Try not to get too crazy and save a little something for the end as we come down to start lap 40. We'll be coming to halfway next time by. And look here, folks. We've got a line of split decisions, guys, on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, looks like 5, maybe 6 split decisions, guys. Single file on the inside line. They are going to work together and try and work their team back to the front as the 39 split decisions truck. Looked like he was making a move to the outside. He saw me and got out of the way. And by me, I mean Jared Heasley in that I want to go fast truck. And we've got a small pack back here. These guys were involved in that last incident. At least Kevin was, and that 06 that David Garman was. They are working their way, trying to work their way back up, trying to stay in the draft and be there at the end when it counts. Looks like Jody Ogden might be back out on the track. No, Jody Ogden looks like he is still on pit road, but he is getting repairs. Yep, there is Jody. He is staying in it, getting his repairs done. There is Vincent Tabay. And back up to this lead pack. Still Scott Snodgrass leading. We've got Jason Chambers to the outside. Remember, these two got together earlier, and even though they're working together tonight, there might be a little frustration there, so hopefully these two don't get together again. Don't forget, boys, you're teammates. And you got 3 more of these races to go. And again, this is the first in the series. They are scoring points for these 2 leagues. So at the end of this, they will determine the winning league. Both leagues are great, though. Having run with both of them for some time, I can tell you both of them is a great group of guys. As they are starting to come around, the leaders are coming around to the lap car. Vincent Tabay gets down low. Scott and Jason together again to the inside wall. Caution. And we've got several cars. Big one right at the front. Several cars in it. The 14 of Jason Chambers was in it again. 57 AJ Godsey was in it. Looks like Mike Smith was in it. Vincent Tabay is damaged. 7 truck of David Gilbert might have got around that unscathed this time. The 17 of Lucas Gortman. Jason Lottridge got around clean. The 71 truck got around clean. Looks like that's Chris Wheeler this time. Looks like a lot of these guys toward the back got around clean, but we've got several that were up at the front of the pack. They got caught up in that. Wow. Coming around to pass a lap car on a plate track is always a bit tricky. Let's take a look at some of these. Looks like Kevin Reed made it through. The 95 made it through. Bill Percy. That is some incredible driving by a lot of these guys that they missed that wreck right in front of them. And will we see Harley Barletta? He's on the oldest tires out there right now, or the oldest tires in the lead pack. Will we see Harley come down pit road? He's only been out there on those for 17 laps though. And last time we saw him go closer to 25, but he is going to come down pit road. As we watch, do believe we are looking at Ryan Johnson in that Oreo truck. Yes, we are. Ryan hits his pit stall right on first time, and we'll see if he's the first off pit road, and we'll scooch up here just a little bit. And we see Scott Snodgrass there. He's getting his repairs done. Hopefully he's not there for too long. Gets back out. As we see, the 39 is the first one off pit road on this cycle. 39 of Luke Smith. No surprise there to see him up at the front. We are just past halfway, and I did see Jody Ogden is back on the track. Still got some damage, but I guarantee you that truck still has enough speed to get the job done if he needs it to. Jody does not have any give up in him. He's not going to give up. He's going to make that truck work as he drops low to find his place in line. Looks like we got some guys working on getting laps back. And the front couple of trucks. There goes Larry Ashby. He's going to be coming back to the lead lap. We'll see where that puts him. He's currently showing in 24th, but I bet he picks up one or two more positions. Looks like almost everybody involved in that accident is either on their way back out or already back out. Scott Snodgrass is showing in 21st currently. We'll work our way back here in a few moments and see if Scott's back out on the track, if he had to use his fast repair. As we watch the split decisions, guys, James Coleman'sberger, Cullen Johnston came out of the pit road first, followed by that 13 truck, Jason Room. He'll be third when they cross the line in the 39 truck. Luke Smith. Ryan Johnson showing in fourth. I think he'll be actually scored fifth. And let's go look at some of the biggest movers so far. That 95 of Bill Percy, qualified 19th. Already all the way up into 6th. Go back and look at the 23 of Jeff Hinkle, qualified 20th. He's up in 8th. And David Garman. Don't count David out ever. He started 30th and he is showing in 10th position right now. As we scroll back here, we're looking at Jody Ogden's back out, Kevin Reed's back out. Looks like Scott Snodgrass might still be on pit road. Let's see if we can find Scott. We're at 1 to green. We'll work back to the front and we'll try and find out where Scott is currently at. Hopefully he'll get back out and keep putting on a heck of a show. He's definitely made some power moves to get to the front tonight. And he's shown he can get up there at the front and he can lead the pack. And at one point it looked like he was about to pull him away from the pack. So hopefully Scott's repaired back out on the track and we can see that 22 truck get back to the front. That was a really bad situation. That just was lap car didn't get low enough. Scott had to come up. Jason didn't have anywhere else to go other than Scott or the wall, and they got together again. Beginning to wonder, anytime Scott is on the inside line and Jason's on the outside line, they suddenly end up sideways. They might want to check for magnets on the inside of their trucks before this is all said and done. You boys check that out before the next race. As I said, this is the first of a series. They will be going to Kansas, Pocono, and Bristol Motor Speedway, and I'm really looking forward to calling that race. All those races will be called here on How to Suck at iRacing. Before long, we'll also be doing multi-stream on Twitch, so that will be even more exciting. And on Monday nights, you can tune in and see the Split Decision Short Track League. As the 11 truck, James Coleman'sberger, leads him down to the restart. He gets a bit of a jump. There goes James. He's got a push from Colin Johnston. Colin's going to sit there and hang in line for a minute. Jason Room to the outside, and we've got two BRR guys surrounded by Split Decisions boys. I would imagine that these two guys are going to get shuffled back if they don't get some help soon. But we see them, they are not giving up. They are looking to the outside. Now, I will say, tonight there is no yellow line rule in effect. iRacing does not have a systematic yellow line rule in place, and they did not put a yellow line rule in place. However, I am sure there will be penalties within the league and possibly in points for this series if somebody goes below the yellow line and causes another big one. So we'll see how this all plays out. As we watch, the 11 is about to give up the lead to his teammates, the 55 and the 39. Colin Johnston and Luke Smith, they've been hanging around in that top 10 all night, and Colin is new. He's only been with us a week or two. He started in the short track league, and he's in the trucks in the Friday night league. Just started this week in the Friday night league. He's already shown he can get the job done more than once. Well, I imagine we're seeing him at the front now. I imagine we'll see more of him as this 4-race series goes on. We watch him come down the straightaway. We've got 35. We're going to be at 34 laps to go. Hopefully we can stay green and see if their pit strategies play out. Colin Johnston has been out there for 30 laps so far. We'll see how much longer he can stay out. He'll be the one to watch because that'll gauge how much fuel they've got. I do not think he can make it to the end of this race on what he's got in the tank. But he is definitely out there pulling his team. He could drop back in the draft and save some fuel, but he's doing his part for the team, pulling them around the track. As the first three trucks we see, and looks like Colin's going to move up. Looks like he's still under power. Just decided to fall back, get into that draft, and save some fuel. And it looks like we might be seeing the lap truck of Larry Ashby come into play. Work our way back up, and there is now Larry will try and hold his position. As the Split Decisions guys, they're coming around. Now Larry got his lap back last time around under that last caution. Oh, as we're watching him get a little dicey back there coming around Larry. And we see the third line. Some of these guys are looking to form that third line. Larry is up to speed with them in the draft now. We've got one line running up against the wall, one down on the yellow line as we come through the front straightaway. Start working our way back through the field, see who all's gotten back out here. We've got lots of trucks out here that still have damage, but as long as they are in the draft, they are okay. We see a couple of them. We see David Garman back there in the 06 truck. The 34, Larry Ashby's gotten his lap back. Looks like he might have fallen another lap down again, though. And the 23 of Jeff Hinkle out there. There's the 15 of Jeff Parr. The 2 of Jody Ogden. And the 22 of Scott Snodgrass being shown currently in 21st position. I don't expect that to be a permanent situation, though. They've got enough time left. They've got several trucks out there. They've got these little groups breaking off, and as these groups start to get together, they can actually stay single file and get back to the front as we watch the 57 of AJ Godsey along with Mike Smith. And they are teammates. They are going to be pushing to the front. And they're going to get a little help from some of these guys back here. You got Chris Wheeler and Jason Lottridge in 16th and 17th position. And we're back up. This front pack is 14th. Jeff Hinkle and Colin Johnston, he's falling back. He's probably trying to save some fuel, as we talked about. He has been out for a long time. Work our way back up to the front of the pack as we see a lot of these guys out here. Most of these guys are still all pitted together about 9-10 laps ago. They might be able to go the distance, but there's one truck. There's a couple of trucks we talked about. Colin Johnston's been out for 34 laps. Jeff Hinkle for 35. And the number 28 there, James Coleman'sberger, has been out there for 45 laps so far. So we know they can go 45, and with 30 laps to go, these guys can go the distance on what they have left in the tank. As we watch them come around through down the front stretch towards turn 1, we see a front pack of mostly split decisions trucks. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 7. More than that. Seven of the top 8 are split decisions trucks. And it looks like they're going to come back on the lap truck of Dave Gilbert, their fearless leader. It looks like he is going a lap down. Lost the draft at some point. But he'll get hooked back on to this train. Looks like there's a little gap back there. Dave, hop in it. As long as he's getting a little bit of draft off these guys, he is picking up speed, and he will stay with them as the 38's pushing that 42 really well. They put a gap in there. That 38 Oreo truck, he keeps looking to the outside, but he's not going to find any help right there. Ryan Johnson is running for BRR. He's kind of on his own, at least for the time being. We get back here to the 13 truck. Jason Room, Richie West, David Garman. The 3 of those trucks are hooked up. Those are the BRR boys. Those are the front 3. They're going to try and get up to their teammate, Ryan Johnson. And they've got a few more trucks back there to give them a hand. May not be on the lead lap, but that drafting help, any extra trucks will come in handy. Sorry to see, it looks like Jared Heasley is out of the race for tonight. We get another caution, we might hop over there and talk to him. We'll see how this plays out with 27 laps to go. We are mostly single file through the top 5. That 38 truck just keeps looking outside, and that 41's trying to saying, hey buddy, go out there, I'll drop there and we can let you fall backwards. They are not going to give him any help, especially this late in the race. Almost 3/4 of the way done. But here comes help for that number 28 car, or 38 car of Ryan Johnson. He's got Richie West, Jason Room, and Larry Ashby coming to the rescue back there. And all these front, let's see, the first 6 cars, first 6 trucks, all on the same pit strategy. Jason Room is the first one that's been out there longer. He's been out there for 21 laps. And then we go back to James Coleman'sberger coming to 50 laps on his, as we see Scott Snodgrass back out there in 21st position. And they are scoring all the way through the field, so every position helps tonight. Every position will help for these guys. And as long as Scott can stay in it, pick up 1 or 2 positions, if he's lucky, we got 20 caution with 25 to go. Looks like the 13 car is down on the inside, and he's hit the wall hard. Does not look like there's any other damage. He might have just gotten a little bit too much of a bump draft there. They will line up with 25 laps to go, and some of these guys that have been out there for a while, they are loving this, because now they're going to get 4 fresh tires, a full tank of fuel, and they are going to excuse me, be running back up towards the front. Josh Susie in the 42 Split Decisions truck is back to the lead. And again, we just want to thank you for tuning in to this, the Turtle Shell 200 tonight here at Talladega. It is BRR versus Split Decisions. And we do host the Split Decisions Monday Night Short Track League right here every Monday evening. Definitely tune in and watch that. You've got Super Late Models versus SK Mods. Makes for some really interesting racing at some of these tracks. Especially seeing those 2 cars running side by side. One's faster in the corner, one's faster down the straightaway. You can turn in Friday nights to see the Split Decisions Big League on PTM Racing TV. And you can see the view from my cockpit, which is usually at the back, from right here as well. And you can watch the BRR guys here tomorrow night, Sunday night, right here on How to Suck at iRacing. So we watch the top 2 cars come down pit road. We're seeing 1, 2. Looks like the top 10 is all coming to pit road. And whose pit crew is going to be faster this time around? So we watch the 42 and the 38 there on pit road. We'll see who gets off pit road. Will either of them take only 2 tires? Wow, that was fast. I don't know that they took any tires. They might have just, that was a 7.3 second pit stop for Ryan Johnson, 7.7 for Josh Susie. I am guessing that they took fuel only. They're going to go the distance, 23 laps to go. They know their tires are going to last. That's not a problem. As we see John Nichols, one of our Turtle Shells painters, he's in 3rd place now. He helped create these Split Decisions guys paint jobs for tonight. Luke Smith, Bill Percy, all the way up to 5th. Just been slowly creeping his way to the front all night after starting 19th. Tyler the Turtle Rush in the number 27 truck. And then we have Richie West. One of the, let's see, the second car out there in 7th place. He's the second BRR car out there right now. Lucas Gortman, James Coleman'sberger, Harley Barletta, and then we have David Garman for the BRR League. Jeff Hinkle, Mike Smith, and there is Kevin Reed. I do believe Kevin's a little bit, he's a lap down currently. It looks like he may be getting the lucky dog this time by. Right in front of him is AJ Godsey. Still looks like he might be Sorry, that's Mike Smith directly in front of him. AJ Godsey's being scored in 18th, and Kevin scored in 19th currently. It looks like Kevin might get the lucky dog, might get waved around, and we might get him back to the lead lap. We might get our couple of our admins back up front. And here in a few weeks, again, we will see these guys going at it at one of the 3 tracks we mentioned earlier. They were working on finalizing the schedule today, so we will have something posted in the next few days. As we watch the 7 truck lead them around. Josh Soucy's got a bit of damage there. Josh and AJ, yes, that is AJ. They are both getting a lap back. Sorry, that was not Josh. That was the 7 of Dave Gilbert. So we've got the dueling admins getting their lap back with 1 to green. As we watch the 42 of Soucy and Ryan Johnson to the outside. The 41 of John Nichols. The 39 of Luke Smith. The 95 of Bill Percy. Bill's putting on one heck of a run tonight. The 27 of Tyler the Turtle Rush back there. Then we've got Richie West, Lucas Gortman, James Colemansberger, and Harley Barletta rounding out our top 10. And watching them come down the back straightaway, we see some of these guys trying to get back to the lead lap. As they took off full speed around the track, and we'll watch these guys come down and take the green on the restart. Once the pace car is off, Josh is in control of the restart. He'll do it when he's ready to do it. And they are communicating with their team, so we'll see if they have anything up their sleeves to hold Ryan Johnson back. But don't count Ryan Johnson out. Just because he's up there alone does not mean he does not have a little something for him. I promise you he has something up his sleeve too. This race is far from over. Looks like we are going to go green with about 20 laps to go. As we see the pace car duck low, he'll go down pit road. We'll watch this train come around. So they all go past the pit entrance, and here we go. Josh gets a jump. They leave the 28 high. Nobody back there close by to help push him. And it looks like those front 3 split decisions guys, they have got it handy, or they've got it in hand, excuse me. They're going single file, nose to tail, and they are going to push to the front now. They're going to try and get a little bit of a breakaway, and if anybody stays too wide back there, which you know that 28 truck is going to do, he's not giving up without a fight, and he is getting help back there. And when it gets down, we're at 21 to go. When it gets down to about 5 laps to go, all bets are off. These teams have worked together all night. They have worked their strategies, but now those strategies are pretty much out the window. There is everybody on the track currently can make it to the end on tires, on fuel. The longest person out there looks like is AJ Godsey at Jeff Parr, 18 lap, just pitted 18 laps ago, but he is 2 laps down. He is still out there, and he can go the distance at this point. As we watch him play nice, we've got that outside line working. Still being led by that 28. John Nichols is not giving up. Ryan Johnson is not giving up. I'm sorry, on the outside. John Nichols is in the 41 truck helping push. Keeping his teammate Josh Soucy pushed to the front. And I promise you, once those two get connected, it's gonna take a lot to get past them. And with their teammates there to the outside, I imagine none of these BRR guys are gonna have much luck getting help. But as we see, they are not giving up yet. As we come through turn 3 and 4, we're at 19 to go. We're coming to 18 to go. That 38 is just not giving up yet. He loses a little bit of ground coming out of turn 4, but he's still got a line behind him, help push him back to the front. As long as he keeps it steady, they are going to have a hard time. If they want to get past him, they're going to have to move to the outside, go 3 wide, and leave him alone in the middle. It does not look like anybody's ready to make that move just yet. We have 18 to go. They're going to stay single file, but I guarantee you when we come to 10 laps to go, folks, we are going to start to see one heck of a show. These guys will go 3 wide and try and get everything they possibly can. And got to give a shout out to these BRR guys, even the ones that were in the earlier wrecks. We've got a lot of them still out there on track. Larry Ashby, AJ Godsey, Kevin Reed, Dave Gilbert's the split decisions leader. But Scott Snodgrass, those guys were in early wrecks. They are 1 and 2 laps down, but they are still fighting. They have not given up yet, and they are staying out to get some points for their league when this is all said and done. Looks like Jody Ogden might still be out there, as well as Mark Ackerman. I'll have to watch the scoring here for a minute. Looks like Jody may have just came to pit road. These guys have stuck it out, getting the points. They know they can't win tonight. They had some bad luck early in the race, but they're going out to get the points and work with their team and help their whole league out. And that's what it's all about tonight, has been teamwork so far. And we've seen a lot of great teamwork from a lot of these guys. As we go back up and look at Josh Susie, they are still just nothing happening up front yet. Everybody's being patient. 16 laps to go. They come out of turn 2, down to the back straightaway. Staying pretty patient right now. This is actually kind of surprising with 16 to go. I didn't expect them to get too crazy, but I expect to start seeing them move around a bit any time now. James Coleman'sberger, he had been out for 40 laps. He's got fresh tires in that 11 truck now after that good long run. 71 of Jason Lottridge back there with David Garman. There's David. David running for BRR, trying to get up there and help his team, trying to get up to Richie so they can help push and get their team back to the front. The 23 of Jeff Hinkle, and there is Mike Smith in the 9 car. The last one in the front pack, he is showing in 16th currently. And Mike's one you should not count out just yet, because before this is all said and done, he may be up there to the front. He is really good at these plate tracks as well. All these guys are good, but you have 1 or 2 that just make you scratch your head and wonder, how did they do that? I will tell you, one of the best drafting partners at these tracks I've had is Jared Heasley. I'm sad to see he's not out there. We did a race for BRR at one of these plate tracks recently, and he and I got hung out, but we got back together and managed to work our way back up toward the front pack and had a heck of a run together. Was really expecting to see him toward the front tonight. Sorry that he is out. And it's definitely worth mentioning once again that we got the huge shout out goes to AJ, Jody, and Kevin, Dave, Tyler, and Thomas. All those guys, both of those leagues. Once those conversations kind of started for planning, I stayed out of it. We knew pretty early on that I'd be doing the broadcast for tonight's race, and I wanted to be the impartial one. So those guys got together, they worked out a plan, and we are seeing it executed on track tonight. It'll be really fun when we see their planning and their execution when we go to Bristol. Pocono will be interesting, Kansas will be definitely interesting, but Bristol will be entertaining. They might as well turn the cautions off on that one, because there is going to be a lot of beating and banging, trucks slamming into each other all night long. And we are starting to see the moves. Look at David Garman going to the outside, almost 4 wide coming down the front straightaway. They settle back in, but David Garman's picking up a couple positions. He's starting to move to the front. Now he's got his teammate Richie West to the inside, and the 23 of Jeff Hinkle right behind him. Looks like David's going to try and stay to the outside, pull back up to that line. Maybe he can get Richie to come with him. We got the 28 truck up there still looking for some help. Ryan Johnson, he was scored in first place that last time by. Now we're starting to see, with 12 coming to 11 to go, we're going to start to see this getting a little bit more exciting. They are going to go into all bets are off mode. They've done their teamwork. They've got themselves into this position. As we come to 10 to go, they are going to be every man for himself. It is most important to mention that these guys, they are all friends. They are all out here to have a good time, and that was the number one thing both leagues talked about all week long is, hey, we're going to have strategy. We're going to do our best. We're going to go for the win, but at the end of the day, this is a friendly rivalry thing that we've got going on here as we watch Richie West go up the middle. Richie's got to run up the middle. And he is going for, gets a side draft off the 95. Bill Percy, and he is pulling straight up the middle. And he's not stopping. He gets up, Richie gets into the 38, and they are crashing down coming out of turn 2. Looks like most of them get woed up. The 27 gets into the 55 there as they're trying to get woed up. But Richie had one heck of a run. As we get 10 to go, they come across 10 to go, and looky there. Ryan Johnson is scored in first place currently. We'll see once they cross the scoring loops at the start-finish line where they settle out, but currently we are showing Ryan Johnson in that 38 as being the leader. We'll see if that updates as they come across. It does. Josh Susi is in first. Ryan Johnson in second. John Nichols in third. Bill Percy is in fourth. Let's see if Bill made it through. There's John Nichols. He made it through. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like John has a little bit of damage on the nose of his car. I don't think it'll have a huge impact this late in the race, but we'll see if he goes down and gets it repaired. And we drop back here to Mike Smith, Jeff Hinkle. These guys seem to get through it okay. We've got a couple trucks there, split decisions, guys. This is definitely going to shake things up for the end of this race. Tyler the Turtle Rush sitting in 12th place. Mike Smith moving up to 11th. Jeff Hinkle in 10th. Lucas Gortman in 9th. No surprise there. Richie West doesn't look too much worse for the wear, so we're going to have to watch him closely. If he gets another run up the middle, they may not be able to hold him back. Does not look like they were trying to block him. They just were not expecting the run he had. That was amazing. You don't see that run up the middle like that very often. Richie's going to go ahead and go down pit road and get 4 fresh tires and get some of that repaired. He has not been in an accident yet tonight, if I am remembering correctly. As we see the 14, Jason Chambers, unfortunately on pit road again. Looks like he is still struggling from his earlier accidents. We're going to try something right quick here. Well, it does not look like I can get Dave Gilbert looks like he might be out of the race as we see AJ Godsey come out in 13th place. We see Tyler the Turtle Rush is in 12th. He went down pit road. We see some of these lap down cars sticking out. That wreck is definitely going to help some of these guys, like the 22 of Scott Snodgrass. Probably one of the biggest fan bases we see on a regular basis. Anytime Scott's in the race, we expect a lot of people cheering him on. Larry Ashby showing in 11th. Chris Wheeler, number 71 truck. He's in 10th. Chris has had a good race tonight. He's managed to hold on to it, stay out of trouble, keep the truck clean. And I fully expect that truck to come to the front. He was in an Xfinity last night with me in the Cup car, and he managed to hang with me a lot of the night. So that was a great race with him, and be interesting to see if he's got something for these guys. I know at these plate tracks he is also quite good. 23 of Jeff Hinkle showing in 9th. We've got David Garman in 8th. David was trying to work his way up with some of these BRR guys, trying to get up to the front. We'll see now that he's got a little bit of help back there, and AJ sitting back there. He's got Larry back there. He's got Jeff. He might get some help getting to the front. We've got Jason Lottridge, Lucas Gortman, Harley Barletta, and Bill Percy in 4th place. He has just snuck his way to the front all night long. Really like Bill. He is a great driver. Anything he gets in, he drives well, and he's about like me and just has some of the worst luck. I am glad to see he is up front tonight. He's having a good run. He's in 4th, and I am hoping that Bill is going to be there at the end. Hopefully, he'll be crossing the finish line. We'll be talking to him post-race. Love to see that. We got the 41 of John Nichols. And, of course, we have the 38 of Ryan Johnson and the 42 of Josh Susie. As we have 1 to green, we are coming down the back straightaway. Coming out of turn 2, going down the back straightaway. These guys are lined up side by side. They will restart with, it looks like, 6 to go. This will not be a nice restart. The gloves are off. Nobody's patient anymore. Everybody can make it to the end. A lot of these guys towards the back of the lead lap, from 12th on back to 16th, all have fresh tires. And Larry Ashby's on in 11th place with 29 lap old tires. Everybody else is on 17 lap old tires. So, will these guys at the back, the tire situation usually doesn't apply too much here at these plate tracks, but it can give them a maneuverability advantage getting through this traffic. And Richie West showing in 16th. We know he should still be out here. Yes, he is still out on the track. We will see if Richie can make some moves. He's sitting way back there in the red truck. We'll see if he can pull the same thing off once he gets up to speed and gets some momentum. As we watch the 42 lead him down to restart, Josh Susie gets the restart when he's ready. Here he comes. Looks like 38's trying to make sure he does not lose any ground on this restart. Here they come. Green flag is out, and here we go. Probably the last restart of the race. As we go into turn 1 and 2, the 38 is left out there high. Will the 95 stay with him? Will Bill stay with him and push him around? Hard to say. Bill, you've got people coming to the 17 on the inside. Bill's ran a smart race tonight. Let's see if he can get back up there to the front as we watch the 17 and the 81, Lucas Gorman and Harley Barletta. These two are used to running together week in and week out. As we watch the 41 slips to the outside. He's pulling the 38 of Ryan Johnson around. And the front six trucks are nose to tail coming through 3 and 4. As we watch, here comes the BRR guys towards the back. They are starting to make a move to the front. David Garman's up on the high line. They are 3 wide with AJ Gotze pushing him. And Scott Snodgrass back there giving him a hand, staying out there after all of his repairs, several laps down, staying out there and helping his team. As we see AJ and David, they are hooked up and they are going to the outside as well. We are 3 wide coming down the back straightaway. Will they get enough help? It looks like some of that damage that Scott had might be holding him back just a little bit, but he's trying to get up there and help his teammates as they run that outside line. And we've got the 95 of Bill Percy in the middle with the 71. The 41 and 42 are leading him around as we come down. We're going to be 4 to go at the line. That middle line seems to have some momentum, but look here, it's David Garman on the outside. The BRR guys have hung out in the back, in the middle, everywhere but the front. But here we are at the end of the race, and of course, AJ Gotze is coming to the front. Anybody that knows AJ knows that this is no surprise. In fact, I warned these guys with the Split Decisions League, whoa, as we see him getting a little dicey, Bill jumps up high, sees Scott coming, drops back down. I told the Split Decisions guys, if AJ says he is struggling at a racetrack, you better watch out. He is coming to the front. So I'd imagine on that last restart he said he was struggling, because here he is. And we see the 3 BRR guys on the outside. Scott Snodgrass, Bill Percy get together. We see a big one. We've got several cars wadded up back here. We've got them sliding in the grass. Jason Chambers, we've got Larry Ashby tore up. The 74, Chris Wheeler's tore up. Richie West, he has got some more damage after that earlier incident. There's Jason, looks like he is okay after driving through the grass. And I do not remember what the final decision was on the green-white checkered. We'll find out here in a minute. We move back up to the front, and no surprise, there is AJ Gotze sitting in 5th, David Garman in 4th, John Nichols, John Susi, and Ryan Johnson at the front. Ryan managed to work his way past all those Split Decisions boys. As we watch and pace around with 3 to go, I'm hoping we have a green-white checkered. We'll have to wait and see. Looking to see if I can reach out to one of the admins to find out. Reaching out to see if we're going to have a green-white checkered. As they come down there, we'll get 2 to go at the line. If not, we will be looking at Ryan Johnson. And while they are pacing for a moment, I am going to get ready to talk to Ryan if it comes down to And my mistake, Ryan is running with split decisions tonight. I had that one a little bit backwards. So my apologies to my split decisions teammates and to the BRR guys. Waiting to find out if we are going to have a green-white checkered. We have 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. Thank you, Thomas. Thomas Myers, one of our great split decisions admins. Like I said earlier, since I was going to be the neutral party in all this, and I wasn't racing, I made sure to stay out of the discussions. As we start working back through the field, and we see we've got a couple of these BRR guys at the front at the end. No surprise to see David and AJ up there at the front at the end. Sad to see, wait a minute. Look who is in 9th place, Kevin Reed. Not surprised to see him there. Not surprised to see Chris Wheeler there. Not surprised to see a lot of these guys that are up there. Jason Chambers is showing his 30 laps down, but he is sticking it out, helping his team out as well. And the number 9, we've got 3 BRR cars here. We've got Mike Smith, Richie West, and Kevin Reed lined up. They've got the 81 of Harley Barletta from Split Decisions between them, and then they have David Garman and AJ. It looked earlier in the race like these Split Decisions guys just had this thing figured out, but here at the end, here comes the Burning Rubber Racing boys. This is going to be one heck of a fight to the finish. As I said, we'll have a green-white, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. What does that mean? If the leader takes the green flag, he'll come around. If he picks up the white flag, anything that happens after the white flag means the race is over. Anything before the white flag happens, and they will get another attempt at the green-white checkered. I can promise you these guys want to see this end under green just as much as we do, and we want to see clean racing to get there. Thank you, Thomas, for hopping in the chat there and clarifying for us as well. It's good to have one of the admins handy like that. And I want to make sure we take a moment to thank everybody from both leagues who showed up, and thank you guys that are watching. We will have 3 more of these races, Kansas, Pocono, and Bristol. They will be broadcast right here. You can catch the Split Decisions guys broadcast short track series on Monday nights right here. You can watch me drive in the BRR League on Sunday nights and the Split Decisions League on Friday nights. And the Split Decisions Friday Night League is broadcast on PTM Racing TV on Facebook. So definitely tune in for those. Like, follow, share here and on YouTube, and soon we'll be streaming quite frequently on Twitch. So we'll be getting a lot of these race broadcasts. We'll be going a lot wider and a lot more global with it, giving a lot more people an opportunity to watch. We're getting ready for the pace car to come off. Green, white, checkered. Let's see if they can go the distance and who is going to be there at the end. Who's going to win this thing? We see them starting to line up. We've got several BRR guys down on the inside, led by their fearless leader AJ, who created BRR, so we got to thank him. And they are already 3 wide coming to the start-finish line. And we've got the Split Decisions trio there at the front. But here come the BRR guys right there at the back. The 06 of David Garman, followed by the 57 of AJ Godsey. They are trying to close the gap and find a way around Josh Susie, John Nichols, and Ryan Johnson. And we've seen Ryan Johnson up front all night long. As we're coming down, if the leaders take the white flag, it's over. Regardless of what happens, they will go all the way around to the checkers. As we're watching them get really wide, David's trying to get past the 42 cart truck there with AJ pushing him around. Looks like they're going to clear him. They'll start to drop back down. AJ drops down to the block. AJ's trying to block and push at the same time. They have got the momentum on the outside coming off of 2. We are on the final lap coming down the back straightaway. David Garman and AJ. AJ gets loose, gets turned by the 42. This race will go. As we watch David Garman drop in line in 4th place, does he have anything on the front straightaway? Does Josh Susie or John Nichols have anything for Ryan Johnson? Will they even try his teammates? No, they look wide, but they don't have. Oh, look, right at the line. Ryan Johnson right at the line. John Nichols almost had it. A half a second sooner, he would have had that finished. That was a heck of a drive by these guys. And we're going to go take a look, because I know what Ryan is about to go do on the front straightaway, and I imagine you all want to see it too. 80 laps, great racing by both leagues. Shout out to both leagues, every member, especially those guys that were in those accidents and came back out to gain some points for their league and their team. Looking forward to seeing 3 more of these races at Pocono and Kansas. Definitely stick around after we watch some burnouts here. And we are going to try and go talk to Mr. Ryan Johnson. See if we can't get him pulled into the broadcast booth here momentarily. Is he going to take an extra victory lap? It's looking that way. Let's see if we can get him pulled in. We'll have to wait just a moment for him to come and join us the old-fashioned way. Can't do a manual pull right now, so we'll watch for him, and he should be joining us after he gets some burnouts in. Good job to both of these leagues. We'll have the leagues will have their scores and the overall points finishes posted in the next few days, but just a great show by both leagues. Some great racing. As there Ryan goes. Burn those rear tires off. Use up what gas you got left. Well, maybe not what gas you got left. You've got about half a tank, so just burn off the tires. He's going to try. And he's got his teammate in the 17. He's got some of his teammates, and he's going to... Oh, good celebration, Ryan. Great job, buddy. Great job by all these drivers. We will definitely be, at the future races, we'll have it set up so we can talk to the drivers during the caution flags. But for now, due to it being Talladega and such a heavy strategy race, we just didn't want to interfere with that, and they didn't want to be interfered with while they're working on their team strategy, and they definitely didn't want to give anything away. So, we're going to have the 17 and the 38 doing the burnouts here together. Lucas Gorman's sitting there. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going, bud?
Well, it looks like you have had one heck of a night, sir.
Oh, it was very eventful.
That it was. That was a great run at the end. It looked like you had one run earlier in the night where you went quite a while on one set of tires, like 40 plus laps. Was that part of y'all's strategy for tonight? Keep somebody out for a long time?
A little bit, yeah. We tried a couple different strategies tonight and just picked them apart. Like try to see what would work. I mean, everyone doing the same thing isn't gonna do nothing. So try a little different.
Now, when you saw right before that last caution, Richie West in that red BRR truck, he came flying up the middle line. Did you even see him coming?
Not until the last second. I mean, I was trying to run the middle line, and I had Josh on the inside, and we were just trying to cruise. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know when or where it was going to happen, but yeah, I saw that coming. And I saw the mirror, and I was like, "Uh-oh!" And chaos ensued.
Yeah, that was definitely probably better for you that it did, because I don't know the way he was coming through that pack. It was crazy how fast he came through. You'll need to go back and watch that at some point. But great win, and definitely split decisions. Put on quite a show tonight, as did BRR. But you guys, looks like we got top three?
I believe so.
Yeah, it looks like you got Ryan, John, Chris, David Garman in fourth. Then you had Bill Percy and Lucas Gordman fifth and sixth. So quite a finish in the top 10 for the split decisions boys.
Definitely. I mean, that was a team effort as best as we could. I mean, we got separated a lot, and there were quite a few wrecks that we were all trying to avoid, and hope to come back and have a cleaner race, but have another hard one.
We'll definitely be looking forward to that. Sounds like you guys are going to be doing Kansas, Pocono, and Bristol. So looking forward to seeing that, especially the Bristol race.
Oh, yeah, of course. Got to save the best for last, right?
Amen. All right, man. Go out there. It looked like you don't have any rubber left on those tires, the burnouts you were doing, but go celebrate with the team.
Thanks, bud.
All right, have a good one, man. All right. That'll be the end of our broadcast for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to How to Suck at iRacing and watching the broadcast of this first BRR versus SDR race. The Turtle Shells 200. Definitely check out both of those leagues. Burning Rubber Racing and Split Decisions Racing are both on Facebook. Definitely go check out Turtle Shell if you need a logo, if you need a paint job. They will even do logos for businesses, things like that. Anything you need a logo for, go talk to John and Tyler first. They can definitely help you out. And definitely want to shout out to the admins of both leagues. We've got AJ, Jody, and Kevin with the BRR League. Dave Gilbert, Tyler Rush, Tyler Bullock, Thomas Myers for the Split Decisions boys. Could not have put this on. It was a great team effort. It was a lot of cooperation. These guys did a great job. Put on a great show tonight. Heck of a race. Heck of a good time calling this, and looking forward to the next one. As soon as we have a schedule, we'll have that posted along with the league points and all the exciting news. You can expect it right here on How to Suck at iRacing. I hope y'all had a great time tonight like we did, and have a wonderful night.